I think Shadow streamed on Saturday, so I'm gonna see if he even has any. I don't think he streamed last night though, so. Yep, he has two. Oh, he streamed both, huh? I thought he didn't stream last night, but I guess I misread that. But he has two, so I can do 5 from Bomber, then 5 from Winda, the 2 that freaking Kenroma has, and then Shadow 2. So I'll do, yeah, these 5. Wrap up these dual triangle ones. Okay. Bomber on. I'm guessing this is one of the loners, right? RB was one of the loners. Five. 5 from you, 5 from Winda, 2 from Kenroma, and then the 2 that Shadow has. Oh, okay, someone's actually playing Assault mode. Isn't he able to activate Assault mode the turn it's set? This is the loner, yeah. You can set one, it can be activated this turn, so yeah, he can activate Assault mode activate. So what's this thing do again? When your opponent would summon a monster, negate the summon, and banish that monster, and all special summon monsters your opponent controls. Okay. I feel like he could have summoned a better one than that, but whatever. I call Arby because his deck keeps blowing up. Okay, negated that. Assault counter, alright. Tech Genius should counter the deck. Yeah, I feel like there are better Assault mode monsters he could have summoned instead of Halberd Cannon. Brute Blues. Honestly, I forgot what the RB stands for in this deck. Robotic Boost? Because the only ones I knew of was Tech Genius is TG, then FA is Formula Athletes, and then I think that was it. Those are the only ones I knew. Was TG is Tech Genius and FA is Formula Athletes. And that's the scoop. Let me see, because I'm fairly certain he could have summoned some better Assault mode cards. Yo, how's it going? Arcanite Magician. There's an Arcanite Magician Assault mode, I know that. He could have done Stardust Dragon Assault mode. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Stardust Dragon Assault mode, right? Junk Warrior Assault mode. Unaffected by activated effects. Doom Kaiser Dragon Assault mode. Arcanite Magician Assault mode. Remove 2 spell counters, destroy all cards, but that's not a quick effect. Yeah, an Omni Negate. Like, he could have went for the Omni Negate, but he went for Halberd Dragon, or Halberd Cannon. And then Crimson Blader. Well, this wouldn't work against Lynx, so, you know, Crimson Blader Assault mode wouldn't do anything. And it's only from the extra deck. These are too many bricks for the deck. But still, he still could have summoned Stardust Dragon because he had the field spell that let him tribute using the extra deck. But he still could have just summoned Stardust Dragon. That would have definitely been the better assault mode to summon. Alright, Speedroid stuff. I'm guessing these are just bodies for Lynx. Okay. So you'll a nice full metal morph or whatever deck. It's his turn, just let you summon a monster? Yeah. Ah, okay, a tax card, okay. Gave the stage landing and okay. Ash, okay. Oh, it's burning. Some other brute blues. And pop everything. Took some damage, but gained a little bit back. Very nice. Alright, and then Black Wings, everything calculated. It kills with these, yep. I think like the Link 2 is like their main play, right? Like, isn't the Link 2 their main choke point? Like, if you want to shut them down, you gotta stop the Link 2. Yeah, that thing. I think it was either the Link 2 or the field spell. Okay. Droplets and 3 cards, and then Vato Rebel Bots. And he surrenders when night is negated. Bro sacrificed all that just to have his last card get negated, and then he surrenders. And then it's Dragon Maids. Dragon Maid's actually bricked, okay. Hell dash for that. And this is turn 2, just simple, easy game. Bro must have bricked hard. If all he had was this one set card. Ah, he probably bricked on all these hand traps. That's probably what it was. But I feel like he could have been able to like use like Droll or Bell or something, or even Ghost Mourner. But the only hand trap to use was Ash. And he had one set card, which was probably just a tidying. So my assumption is he just bricked on a bunch of cards he couldn't use. Like maybe multiple copies of Ash or something. And like no active normal summon. So yeah, maybe like Ash and like Abystial and like one of the high level dragons. That's my assumption. And then back to ranked Blue Eyes versus Killer Toon. Okay, popping the Spirit. Alright, Valor and Ogre. Any other hand traps? Pretty big misplay, yeah. Like, I don't think ogering the Spirit does anything. If anything, you would try to ogre the True Light. I don't know why he didn't wait on that. Alright, double Spirit with Majesty and Imperm. And of course, and Maxi. Okay, going for Ultimate Spirit right away. Oh, Bell. That actually helps, I think. You can still synchro though. Oh, yep. Pop, don't let them keep the bodies on the field. Alright, making Cipher now. Yep, see you Wednesday, Verdant. Banish the barrel, so you're going to draw the Ash for turn, and he scoops. Very nice. I still think that's a stupid thing to allow a deck to do. Allow a deck to freaking pretty much rip a random card out of your extra deck, see what your hand is, see what you're going to draw for the turn, and then also being able to look at your extra deck and temporarily banish like some of your extra deck monsters as well. I don't know who thought all that would be a good idea to have one deck be capable of doing. And just from Winda. Money. Yeah, I already mentioned that. The random banish the extra deck. Yeah, I mentioned that already. Yeah, see you Wednesday, Bomber. The one that loses against a guy that usually plays in a meta weekly. Ah. Alright. Drag out. Alright, got twin stuff going. I mean, you can still do it again. Sprite. Alright, so now just force him to discard with every effect activation. IP. That's the one guy, by the way. I mean, I'm guessing he probably knew that, well, he did definitely had to get rid of it if he had all these effects to activate. And yeah, I think he knows if he tries to get rid of Lancia, it'll trigger to summon Trishula. He did. Yeah, and literally waited until he had a way to negate it. Ooh, dump the kaiju to add it back to hand. A bow, okay. This is the one that summons the one that pops, right? No, this is the one that pops. Yep, need to immediately get rid of the IP. Oh, and you have Raigeki as well. But Thrust is live. I'm surprised you didn't activate Thrust first. Yeah, you could have added the card that you could have added the spell to your hand. Contributing Dragite to summon General Wayne. You prefer the field nuke? I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying. You could have still done that, right? Thrust, search for whatever spell or trap you want and add it to your hand, and then afterwards activate the Raigeki, right? Alright, so this is someone who usually participates in meta weeklies. Do your Garnet, who is playing around draw. Ew. It's never good when they start with Extrav. And yeah, top deck's the Droplet. And Radiant Typhoon. I didn't draw activate there? I don't know. Not like it mattered. And yeah, that was the big thing, putting it into the back row instead of destroying it so it doesn't trigger. And then Centurion versus RB. From a lot. It was a really difficult game while being there. Clockwork Knight. Love it. This is what, Chaos Angel? Yeah. Can I get rid of that right away? Yeah. That's understandable. Was he really negating Jar of Avarice? No, I guess not. I thought it was a negate, but I guess not. Okay, that's the one that changes the effect. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was actually trying to negate a draw one. I mean, sure, you shuffle 5 cards from your graveyard back, but still. Making a Clockwork Knight. Let him do his turn. Negated, but it's not destroyed thanks to Auxilla. Seriously? He tried to take control of Chaos Angel. I mean, he should have known it wasn't going to work when, you know, it remained on the field after pretty much getting Raigeki. Now that stops Auxilla. You don't have... Yeah, you don't have... yeah, Phalanx is on the field. So you can't reborn Auxilla until next turn. But this doesn't do anything. The counter trap is currently dead. Yeah, just keep bashing into him. That's like the only downside. He doesn't inflict piercing battle damage or anything, does he? No, I don't think he does. Honestly, if you don't really have a way to out it, you can just put him in defense, then he won't have a way to out your monster. Doesn't the other one come back now because of the Phalanx, though? Guess not. You chose Fountain on purpose to gain follow-up too? Yeah. I mean, I figured, you know, use it to get your Auxilla back. This is going to be Supernova. Yep. And he can't destroy by battle either. Because of Chaos Angel, so he's going to have to try to attack over it. And once it declares an attack, then yep, the whole field is just, his whole field gets banished. So basically, you have him pinned down now. Or you just kill him outright. Man, he's really protecting all of his cards. But yeah, the moment he activates anything, there goes his whole field. Starting to get low on time? Yeah. As soon as he activates a monster effect, his whole field gets banished. And there it is. And that's the scoop. And, oh. Unchained Ubel Fiendsmith. Haven't seen that deck in a while, and I honestly do not miss it. Just might as well call that a Fiend Sloth deck. It's funny you say. Imperm and Droplet. Ah. Yep, Moon and the Goddess. Or Moon and the Requiem, I mean. And that stops his turn. Put my Oath in the draw phase. Imperb, Droplet, playing on Duel again. Yeah, understandable. Yep. But yeah, it makes sense. Like Oath and Primera are like the only real cards that you care about that actually search. Because aside from that, you can play it. Centurion can play around Droll like entirely. Well, you know, you can't search with Auxilla when you synchro summon him now, but it's still... You can at least still put your cards in the back row. And he has no follow-up right now. I need top decks Engraver. And there's Supernova again. And Unchained. Discarding the Unchained, set the trap. Make SP. Going for Auxilla instead of the Supernova. Interesting. And now your Supernova comes back during the end phase. Yep. That honestly just helped you out, because now you didn't have to wait for Supernova to come back. And that's the scoop. Very nice. Alright, next is Kenroma, and then Shadow. So they had two. Branded, and then White Forest against whatever this is, and Sky Striker. Okay, Killer Tune. She's got Snow in hand. Then that one. So again, that's so stupid. Being able to look at your opponent's hand for free, essentially. Look at the top deck of your... Pretty much manipulate what your opponent's going to draw for the turn. And then randomly banishing from the extra deck, as well as looking and banishing a random card from the extra deck. Even if it's only temporary. It's gonna be Albaz. Yep. Had to negate it otherwise. He was gonna make a Mirror Jade. But no Ash to stop the branded fusion. Have the regained, non-target banish. Well, the cliche back to the hand. Up, okay, and then Brendan and red during the end phase. Update your Ice Barrier deck next month if Elf Notes is released. And Synchro Overtake, which is going to 1. It's a shame because I do. Well, it's only in Master Duel, but I have Synchro Overtake IRO for my Synchron deck. We're popping the Regained and getting rid of the Philia. Protecting the Mirror Jade. Get rid of that. So you're going to draw talents for the turn. And now Mirror Jade wipes out all special summon monsters during the end phase. Or is it all monsters? Oh, just all monsters, not special summon. And he surrenders. You'd have battery timed out. Ah, he timed out. That's funny. I mean, again, his entire field would have been gone during the end phase because of Mirror Jade anyways, so... Sky Strikers. Engage. Zero. Add another engage. And pass. Dark Ruler, so... Now he basically has no disruption aside from maybe some hand traps. Well, I guess he could summon another Zero with Ray if he gets. Well, it's negated because of Dark Ruler. But I guess if he destroys Zero, he can summon Ray, and then use Ray to summon another Zero. But that would be about it. And now you can just negate it with Baron. And he just did it. And then he just got rid of the Zero himself, so he had a potential, you know, disruption, and then now he just has none at all. Next except to Spake, yeah. Start his Charge Warrior. Defense. Why put the Cheng Ying in defense? Oh, right. Because it didn't matter because of Dark Ruler. He wouldn't take any damage. That's why. Dang, bro just has nothing but just had like all of his talents in hand apparently. Pop and then banish the field spell and card from grave. And that's more than enough for a game, but going extra for some reason. Very nice. And then now to wrap things up, we'll watch the two that Shadow has. So I'm guessing he's still playing. He's playing either Heroes or Endymion. And one is versus Branded and one versus Killer Toon. I think he's been playing Heroes though, right? Nope, he's playing Endymion. Okay. Who else? Should be able to play around that a bit. Let's see what he... Ooh, Spell Power Mastery draw is great. Let's see, banished one Citadel, one Jackal King, and Into the Void. 2 institutions are gone, and 1 baby Jackal. Hey, talents. Well, that wasn't during the main phase, was it? He did that during the draw phase, right? There's the second Fulos. Add it back, get a draw. Spell Power Mastery, get another Endymion. Add a third Endymion. So is that triple Jackal King, double Endymion? Or triple... Yeah, triple Endymion, double Jackal King. That's one. And then you can just look at the opponent's hand. Just because... Get rid of the imperm, okay. And now he has enough negates for pretty much, well, almost enough negates. Pretty much has to bounce around his Endymions. So the first thing you would try is normal summon Albaz. Talents, Endymion negate. Bounce the Jackal King that negated, probably. Or the Magister. Yep. And draw. Branded in red. Chain another Endymion. Bounce the Endymion that negated. Or the Jackal King that negated. And Branded opening. And Jackal King to negate the Quem. And that's it. Into the immediate surrender. Wish you could get those hands. Yeah, so do I. And then going against Killer Tune. Another Fuelos. Alright, Servant. Jackal King, got the Monster Negate. Here's where you would have gotten trolled right away. Yeah. Okay, Yash. And Valor, no wonder. Bro just has hand traps galore. I mean, it's Killer Tune, so I guess it makes sense. They can just they have the potential to recycle them. Ooh, Desire's top deck. Let's see what you banish. Spell Power Mastery, and 1 Endymion, and Magia Magic. Those are the important ones. I mean, 2 Magisters getting banished does hurt a little bit, since usually you only run 2. Okay, did he normal summon? Oh, he's negating to activate Institution again. Okay. That's his plan. Reactivate. Grab Servant. And then Beyond? Or no, just Pendulum Summon another Jackal King and call it a day. And Synchro Overtake. Negate that and destroy. Still has a normal summon. And then Endymion can bounce through Garuda to be another potential disruption as well. But that was enough. Very nice. But it looks like that's gonna do it for viewer replays, so you had more counters against that and still lost. Yeah. Yeah, you hate it when it happens. But that's gonna do it for this stream, so appreciate y'all for sharing your replays. And the plan will still be the same for pretty much the rest of the week. 3 hours of Monster Hunter, 1 hour of viewer replays. Yeah, but until then though, I hope you all enjoy your day, and I will see you all back here on Wednesday. Peace.